The Big Bang wasn't the beginning after all. There was no sudden spark, no singularity, and the birth of our universe did not come out of nowhere, but directly from the last breath of a predecessor universe. The idea of a cyclical universe sounds like science fiction, and yet more and more physicists consider it possible. If we follow this theory further, our cosmos could even have originated in the depths of a black hole. The distant galaxies discovered by the JWST would then belong to another universe within a large parent universe. Are we seeing galaxies in the JWST images that do not belong to our universe at all, but to another? If this is true, then with the most powerful telescope in the world today, we're not only looking back in time, but across a previously unrecognized threshold in space-time. We may already be observing other universes or dimensions within a multiverse and not have noticed it yet. The new images are shaking up cosmology, and incredible new worldviews are showing us a completely different picture of the universe and our own world. For decades, the Big Bang theory was considered the foundation of modern cosmology. Our cosmos is said to have been born 13.8 billion years ago from an initial event. The model explained many things. Background radiation, the large-scale structure of the cosmos, accelerated expansion, everything seemed to fit, at least for a while. The old theories were already showing cracks even before Webb was launched. The nonlinear expansion rate, mysterious spots in the background radiation, and extremely large structures within the universe revealed that something was wrong with the old calculations. Webb's revelations have now initiated a change that no one could have anticipated. Scientists who tried to reconcile the dissonance with old theories or even more hypotheses are now confronted with an uncomfortable reality. Hundreds of galaxies that are far too old and massive to exist so soon after Big Bang are overturning even the ideas of dark energy. This mysterious form of energy, which is said to be driving the cosmos apart, is just as unproven as the existence of dark matter, without which the movements of the stars cannot be explained. Since the disaster struck, a hypothesis that was once considered an exotic outsider has come increasingly into focus. Perhaps the Big Bang was not the beginning, but a transition. Perhaps our universe is just one in an endless chain of worlds born from the eternal collapse and resurgence of cosmic structures. The Big Bounce. What if the Big Bang wasn't a beginning at all? What if the Big Bang was a big bounce? In the classical conception, the universe begins in a singularity, a point of infinite density where all known laws of physics break down. New models that take quantum mechanics into account consider such singularities to be errors of science. In the so-called Pauli principle, particles such as electrons and neutrons cannot occupy the same state. If they are squeezed together more and more densely, a tremendous counterpressure arises, the so-called degeneracy pressure. It keeps white dwarfs stable and prevents neutron stars from collapsing unchecked. The idea that an entire universe could also benefit from this effect. Instead of disappearing into a final singularity, the shrinking universe reaches a limiting state, rebounds, and begins anew in a big bounce. Viewed from the inside, this rebound would look like a Big Bang. Aspects such as explosion, expansion, and the creation of space and time are also part of this idea, but the overall picture is quite different. A bounce is a cosmic rebirth, which means that our universe would not be unique, but part of an eternal chain of bounces. Physicists suspect that this cosmic loop of beginning and passing away does not occur as a single event, but could be just one bounce of many within a vast mother universe. The bounces follow a kind of cosmic heartbeat in a vast structure that we can hardly describe with words and scientific means at present. The idea sounds crazy, but it solves several problems at once. A singularity in which the laws of nature cease to apply would no longer be necessary. The question, what came before the Big Bang, would also be answered coherently, especially from a quantum physics perspective, and the impossible discoveries made by the JWST could be explained in a whole new way. Black holes occupy a special position in this context. They could be storage and birthplaces. The hypothesis that our universe could have originated inside a black hole is also gaining momentum. The idea stems from a perfectly logical observation. When a massive star collapses, a black hole is created. Why shouldn't a superior universe also give birth to a new, smaller universe when it collapses? Many researchers see the key in the event horizon. Viewed from the outside, it is a boundary of a black hole beyond which nothing can escape. We will supposedly never be able to scientifically investigate what happens beyond this threshold, inaccessible to us. All kinds of effects and spaces could exist there. The idea that our universe exists inside a black hole or was born inside such a dark object envisioned a kind of bubble that expands inward and acts like an independent universe for its inhabitants. In this scenario, the Big Bang would not be a beginning out of nothing but the moment when the interior of a black hole unfolded. Our cosmos would then be in a sense the child of a mother universe. The consequences are breathtaking. Every black hole we observe in space could potentially be the seed of a new universe. An unimaginable hierarchy in which universes give birth to other universes, and thus we would have something like a cosmic family system, without beginning and without end. JWST and the ancient galaxies, a glimpse into another dimension. For a long time, the Big Bang seemed to be an unshakable explanatory model. But then came the James Webb Telescope. No sooner had it begun its work than it discovered galaxies that appeared to be billions of years older than they should be. Giant star systems formed only a few 100 million years after the supposed beginning. This is a nightmare for the standard model because the formation of such structures should take much longer. But if our universe is a child of an older cosmos, these observations could suddenly seem plausible. The idea is that a young universe that was not born out of nothing could take over traces, fragments, or even surviving structures from a previous era, and thus grow and mature more quickly. Further evidence for this is provided by worrying measurements of the rotation of galaxies. They should actually rotate in random directions, but a strange preference for one direction of rotation keeps cropping up. Researchers call this phenomenon cosmic anisotropy, and it too does not fit well with the picture of a random Big Bang expansion. In fact, a deeper connection has been hinted at for some time. Perhaps our universe really does carry an invisible legacy, a pattern that originated in a predecessor universe. If black holes are more than just cosmic graveyards of matter, then they could truly be the cradles of new universes. Theories such as Einstein-Cartan relativity are based on Einstein's equations and add an additional property, torsion. This is a kind of twisting of space caused by the spin of particles. This torsion could prevent matter from ever becoming infinitely dense. Instead, it would bounce off the inside of a black hole and blossom into a new universe. A process corresponding to a big bounce triggered at the heart of a collapse. This would mean that singularities would disappear as places of collapse of scientific quantities, leaving a cycle of collapse and new beginnings. Every black hole is a seed for creation, and every universe is both descendant and ancestor. For physics, this means that we may never find the beginning. It may not exist. What we call the Big Bang may have been just one transition in an infinite series. A new image of the cosmos and humanity. If you now believe that these new hypotheses only concern the universe or science, you are mistaken. If the idea of a cyclical universe or eternal cycles is correct, our worldview changes radically. We would not be inhabitants of a unique universe, but part of a cosmic ancestral line. Birth and death becoming and passing away. What we are now exploring on a large scale would also be the law on a small scale. This would also shed new light on our own role within these worlds. Religious and philosophical ideas about our lives as human beings would once again converge with a mathematical and scientific view of the world. What Eastern religions have been proclaiming for thousands of years would become scientific reality. What if we too are cyclical, are born again and again as beings of pure consciousness, and are thus inseparable parts of a multidimensional and eternal universe? The knowledge of our own eternity would radically change your life and mine. The question arises as to whether we are standing at a much larger portal than just a realignment of physics. A completely new understanding of matter, energy, and life could trigger a leap in consciousness that would carry our entire species enormously forward. Our worldview definitely influences our ability to think. And those who think cyclically instead of in terms of structures with beginning and an end use their brains in a whole new way. Interestingly, the main theory of the cyclic universe goes back to a researcher who has been connecting quantum processes, consciousness, and the reality of the universe for many years. Sir Roger Penrose, who received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2020 for deriving the formation of black holes from the equations of general relativity, also deals with the nature of the mind. In his work, for Penrose, consciousness is not merely a byproduct of nerve cells or a kind of biological computing power, but an elementary part of reality formation. He suspects that quantum phenomena play a fundamental role in the brain. Mind and cosmos could be connected at a deeper level, conditioning and interacting with each other. If such a theory were to be confirmed, We would have a new age of possibilities and a complete revolution in science. Let's take another look at how black holes fit into this concept. In Penrose's theory, they are not only the boundaries of space-time, but also bridges to the next eon, the next cycle of the universe. Thus, the supposed physical endpoints of machines of destruction are symbols of transition and eternity. They are powerful recycling machines, data storage devices, and transformers, and quantum processes that are not yet understood are likely taking place inside them and at their event horizons. When a star dies in our cosmos and a black hole remains, this hole could be the portal to the star's continued existence in another dimension. Nothing would be lost in a cyclical universe. Everything would only change, temporarily disappear, and reappear cyclically. Click the subscribe button now and be there for every new